Hello everyone, the content of this section is from the book, The Land of the Free and the Home of the Hilarious, author, Olivia Wilson. Welcome to subscribe The Land of the Free and the Home of the Hilarious. Exclusive copyright. Chapter 6, The 60s, Free Love, Peace, and Questionable Fashion Choices. The 1960s were a time of cultural revolution, political upheaval, and some seriously questionable fashion choices. It was a time when people rebelled against the status quo, sought freedom, and expressed themselves in new and often shocking ways. Let's start with the fashion. The 60s gave us everything from psychedelic prints to go-go boots to bell-bottom jeans. It was a time when people were experimenting with new styles and breaking away from the conservative fashions of the previous decade. And let's not forget the hair, the beehive, the afro, and the long, flowing locks of the hippie movement. But it wasn't just about the fashion. The 60s were a time of social and political change, with movements like the civil rights movement, the women's liberation movement, and the anti-war movement all gaining momentum. People were fighting for their rights and expressing their discontent with the status quo in powerful and inspiring ways. And then there was the music. The 60s gave us some of the most iconic and memorable music of all time, from the Beatles to Bob Dylan to Jimi Hendrix. It was a time when music became a powerful tool for social and political change, with songs like Blowin' in the Wind and We Shall Overcome becoming anthems for social justice. And let's not forget the free love. The 60s were a time of sexual liberation, with people exploring new forms of intimacy and breaking away from the conservative sexual norms of the past. It was a time when people were questioning everything they had been taught about love and relationships, and exploring new ways of connecting with one another. So, the next time you think about the 60s, remember the free love, the peace, and the questionable fashion choices. It was a time of experimentation, rebellion, and social change, a time that continues to inspire and influence us today. The moon landing, the day we realized the sky wasn't the limit. 10 iconic fashion trends from the 60s in the US. 1. Miniskirts, a trend started by British designer Mary Quant. The miniskirt became a staple of 60s fashion, worn with boots or tights. 2. Bell-bottoms, these wide-legged pants were a staple of the hippie movement, worn with tie-dye shirts and sandals. 3. Tie-dye, a colorful and psychedelic print. Tie-dye was a popular fashion choice for those embracing the hippie culture. 4. Mod fashion, this style was characterized by bold patterns, bright colors, and geometric shapes. It was influenced by British fashion and popularized by icons like Twiggy. 5. Go-go boots, these knee-high boots were worn with mini skirts and dresses, and were a symbol of the swinging 60s. 6. Leather jackets, made popular by stars like Marlon Brando and James Dean, leather jackets became a symbol of rebellion and cool in the 60s. 7. Shift dresses, a simple and streamlined style. Shift dresses were often made in bright colors and bold prints, and were worn with knee-high boots. 8. Headbands, worn as a way to keep hair out of the face. Headbands became a symbol of the hippie movement, often worn with long, flowing hair. 9. Psychedelic prints, inspired by the art and music of the era. Psychedelic prints were bold, colorful, and often featured abstract shapes and designs. 10. Hot pants, a short version of the mini skirt. Hot pants were a daring and revealing fashion trend in the 60s, often worn with tights or knee-high boots. Thank you all for watching. This program is exclusively licensed.